Just came back from LCA, fresh off this L. What's that? 24, 20, 27 in a row. The worst losing streak in NBA history. The worst. We already had the worst record for most losses in a single season. Now we got the record for the most losses in a row in totality. The last team that did it, they started losing at the end of the season. Then they end up losing more. I think it was 5 games in to start the second season, man. But we just officially lost the most games in league history. 27 straight. They was chanting "sell the team" at different parts of the game. They was booing. We was down 2 points at one point, and they was booing early in the game because we started off with the lead. It's just a lot, man. It's tough. It's tough to cover the team like this, but we're gonna get into this game. So first and foremost, shout out to the fans who keep showing up to support this ball club. Shout out to you. Some of y'all showing up for the wrong reasons because a lot of y'all was showing up just to boo and just to talk shit. So, you know what I'm saying? But to the loyal fans, shout out to y'all, man. Not only did they raise the ticket price from last year to this season, and I know because I got a season ticket package this year, but I got it based on what I saw last year, and I end up getting a half a season ticket pass for last season. And then this season, I went on and got the whole joint because, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm thinking we about to go nuts this year, just like you did, I'm sure. Anyway, not only did they raise the prices on us, especially our season ticket holder, I would be pissed. I'm pissed. Really, my man, Big Willie Styles just put that on me earlier today. He called me and I had to go off on him, and he went off on me, and we was just going at it about this roster. And he reminded me that we got upcharged the premium for this season, and we actually do have a reason to protest and be super pissed opposed to the everyday casual fan. Like, not only do we got season tickets, but y'all overcharge us based on the product that y'all putting on the court. And that just is what it is. And I've been defending Tom Gore, saying that he do a lot of things outside of basketball. A lot of people didn't like that's saying when he said that he does a lot of stuff outside of basketball because they feel like the most important thing is winning. And that's true. Shout out to Kuka Hill because he definitely was on that. But I was actually of a different mindset too. I get that 1,000%, and he gave me a different perspective. But I was on some outside of basketball, they doing good. The marketing team is good. Shout out my dog Aaron out there who marketing entertainment. Like, the Bally Sports coverage is good. Like, the stuff they're doing in the community. He right. He absolutely right. But Cool is also right in the sense that at the end of the day, it's about putting a quality product on the shelves. And in this case, that would be a winning basketball team. And you're not doing that. So you're not a good owner at the end of the day if you're not doing what you put in place to do, or what you wanted to step in place to do. You're not doing what you're doing. So y'all kind of owe us a refund, man. Brad Hall, man, my rep, you need to call me, man. Y'all, come on now. We need some perks or something to kind of, supplement the value and what we pay. We paid an awful lot of money for these tickets, and y'all ain't producing a quality product. But a lot of people got on that sell your team. So I'm a little torn. In one sense, it's like I said, he do a lot outside of winning. And on the other sense, it's like, well, shit, if you ain't going to win, what's the point? It don't matter what you do in the community, and that's fair. But a lot of the chants just came down a little too early, man. We had a lead, and then we lost the lead. We went down like 4 points, and people was tripping. I remember at one point, we was down 2 points. They were screaming, sell the team. Sell the team. I can't be mad at y'all, but damn, say that shit at the end when we about to lose. Like, like we still in the game. Like, it's too early for that. You know what I'm saying? That kind of hurts the morale of the team, and it makes the day one loyal fans that stand down, it make us look bad. So y'all need to chill out with that shit, even though y'all justifying y'all actions. So it's really hard to say. But anyway, energy in the crowd. Shout out to the fans, which was my original point. Shout out to the fans, man. Y'all showed up. You stay in your Pistons gear. You showing up on time. You supporting the energy in the arena is buzzing. Everybody eating goddamn Little Caesars pizza. Come on, man. Come on now. If we gonna I was gonna say earlier, I was telling my nephew on the way back, I said, if we gonna boycott the team, we gotta boycott Little Caesars in general, because when people scream and sell the team, I'm like, he's still on the arena. He's still on Little Caesars pizza. Like, he not going nowhere. He not going to sell the team. It's not his best interest to sell the team. He going to do everything in his power to make it work. He not like a slum owner or like an owner who out here faking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tom Gore's bread is long. No pun intended, because he's the king of Little Caesars. But my point is that ain't no point in to sell the team shit. We need to figure out another way. Like, cut it out. But the energy in the arena buzzing, everybody having the ball, people buying Little Caesars, people in the shop buying clothes and drinks and, you know what I'm saying, food. Everything is everything. Like, the fans is actually coming out to support. They're still cheerful. They're still optimistic to a certain extent. And we came out strong. We came out strong. I think we had a 9-1 lead. Like, we was converting. We was playing tough on defense. Shout out to Jaden Ivey. He was giving a lot of effort to start the game. He really kind of set the tone for how he was going to play for the rest of the night with his energy and his effort. So shout out to Jaden too, because a lot of people been tough on Jaden about, you know, production and just effort. I've always said, like, Jaden gives a lot of effort. Sometimes he might be in his head a little bit, but I think that's more so about not playing and not playing consistently. But anyway, flying around, block shots. He had a steal where I think we missed a shot, and I think Cam Thomas or somebody was bringing the ball down court, and he ran up behind him, ganked his rock. Let me get that cookies. Took his cookies, came back down the arena going crazy. Like, we held a nice little lead throughout the first quarter and into the second quarter. Then coach put in James Wiseman, bum ass, and he just minute after minute, bad play after bad play. He looked lost. Like, one of my fellow season ticket holders that's sitting next to me, he kept saying, like, man, he looked lost out there. And I'm watching, I'm saying the same thing in my head. Like, he looked lost. Like, he don't know where to set the screen. He don't know when to dive. He don't know when to get the hell out the way. Like, he just looked lost out there. Like, he just showed up and put a uniform on and came out to play. Like, he has no clue what he's doing out there. Like, we looked up in the third quarter, he had no points, and he had another dry spell. But before I get to that dry spell, the bench really let us down. Alec Burke, welcome to the team. He finally showed up. He had a decent game. He knocked down a couple of big shots. But like I said, early on, it was a lot of during finishing around the rim, a lot of putbacks, block shots. K was being methodical. It was kind of running the offense through Bogey a little bit, which is another thing me and Big Willie talked about too. Like, having a different play style. Like, stop. If everybody knows Cade is our everything, like, why would we just put the ball in his hands and make him be Luka Doncic or James Harden from the Houston teams? Like, I don't even think Cade got the endurance to do that. I don't think he has the aggressive mind state to constantly be on that. And when I say it like that, I mean, like, aggressively thinking about being in attack mode the whole time. And that's hard for him to maintain the rock and not turn the ball over too. But I actually like the offense running through Jaden Ivey as the initial ball handler and play initiator, with Bogdanovich being more so like the weapon, like the number one weapon. It's almost like having a Randy Moss on your team or a Tyreek Hill, where it's like, as long as you know that you can be beat over the top, it keeps the defense honest, and it leaves that cushion behind the linebackers for us to be able to get the dink and dunks or to be able to get stuff in the middle of the field. And that's my whole philosophy about the Pistons, if I can relate that to a football analogy, in the sense where Ivy is quarterback in the offense, but the whole offense is to get Bogey open. So whether that's, screens, whether that's running the baseline like Rip and Ray Allen and Reggie Miller used to do, coming off pin downs, different things like that. Because when you have a player who's a threat, who's a constant threat, that if he get a clean look off, you're going to be in trouble, it keeps the defense honest. And then you turn your head the wrong way and Ivy can blow by you, or he can throw the lob over the top if Bogey comes off of one of those screens and the defense has a miscommunication and the guy setting that back screen or setting that screen on the baseline, he's wide open every single time. If not, Bogey's getting a good look or he's getting a late closeout, and Bogey has shown that he's able to take the ball off the dribble and get to the cup or create. He had a play like that where Cade, and Burks had a 3-on-1, and Cade drove the ball to the free throw line, and you had Bogey on one end and Burks on the other, and Cade actually made the wrong pass and he kicked it to Bogey because the defender was already kind of shading to Bogey because of where he already was as Cade was coming downhill. So instead of Cade looking to Burke, he hit Bogey, but by the time he hit Bogey, the defender was already closing out, ready to go. So Bogey had to take the ball off the dribble. By then, a second defender comes into the picture and Bogey kicks into the corner, wide open three-pointer for Alec Burks. Unfortunately, Alec Burks missed. But my point is that's essentially how you should be running the offense, with Cade being the secondary option, to where if that play breaks down and if Ivy doesn't have a clear lane to the hoop, you get a ball to Cade and then he can run a quick pick and roll. He should have at least 7 to 10 seconds left on the clock. He can get him a quick pick and roll with Duran, or he can just go one-on-one, or he can go quickly and find somebody to kick the dish to rock off to. I honestly think that's our best lineup. I think that played a lot in why we was actually in this game. The fact that we started Ivy, Cade, Bogey, Stu, and Duran, even though I'm not a big fan of Stu starting, I'm a firm believer that B. Stu should be coming off the bench. Whenever you 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", power forward, and you're not like quick with the feet and like super athletic, fast, agile type of thing, when you built in that mode that Stu is, where it's more like he can out tough people, he got some jumping ability, but he's not a world class athlete. He's not jumping out the gym. Like when you built like that, like if you're not gonna be Kenneth Faried, and if you're not gonna be Ben Wallace, then you have to come off the bench for a multitude of reasons. For one, who you gonna guard? For two, you're a liability on offense because you can't shoot. And not only can you not shoot, you can't attack the closeout either and then make the right pass, make the right read off of the closeout. So you can't start. Because the only way you're going to offset that is if you coming out of nowhere, swatting shots out the air with a fro. Unless you coming out there diving on the ball and going crazy like a Reggie Evans used to do, or a Kenneth Faried, I should say. See, with a Kenneth Faried, he's 6'9", kind of built the same as Stu, not super athletic, not uber athletic, but it was the activity. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, we knew he couldn't shoot, but it was the activity. And he bully balled his way to the rim so often that you had no choice but to surrender to him. You know, he's so aggressive on the board, he going to have 20 rebound nights all the time. That's what Kenneth Faried would do. Same with Ben Wallace. Like, he's going to block shots, he's going to rebound, he's going to defend your big. He going to box out, he going to secure the possession by rebounding the ball, and he's sending ripping Billups up the court, sometimes on a fast break because of how good of a defensive play he just made. And if you're not going to be that guy, Isaiah Stewart, if you're not going to be Ben Wallace, if you're not going to be Kenneth Faried, you have to come off the bench, because then your deficiencies aren't magnified as much as they are when you're playing with starters. Because if you on the floor with Cade, and if Cade man double or close out on Cade, if I can't kick it to you and depend on you to make that shot, or at least keep the defense honest to where I didn't have to kick it to you because you're a threat, and I can go one-on-one if I'm Cade Cunningham or if I'm Jaden Ivey, if you can be dependable like that, then you can play. But if you can't shoot that rock consistently and you can't attack the closeout, now you're a weakness in the defense, and you're making my job harder if I'm Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey. You just made my job harder. You just made sure I just had a rough night tonight, and that's not gonna work. So Isaiah Stewart has to come off the bench, but they actually played well. I think at one point we were up 20-7 or something like that. Like, we came out strong. The energy was buzzing. Like I said, Ivy's activity was infectious. It was even infectious to the crowd. Like, you know, the crowd played into a lot of the things that Ivy was doing. Like, we was loving it. We was rocking with Ivy. You know what I'm saying? I know my section was. We was going nuts. We was appreciating what we was getting out of Jaden Ivey, because it wasn't about the scoring. It was about the activity. It was about the defense. He was all over the place. And whenever he had a lane, he took it. Like, so shout out to Jaden Ivey, even though he had a slow second half. Shout out to Jaden Ivey. But yeah, we came up popping. We got into this little 6-minute window in the second quarter where James Wiseman came in, and It was just terrible. He was terrible. He wasn't defending the rim on defense. He wasn't finishing possessions with rebounds. Offensively, he didn't know whether to set the screen or dive to the basket or get the fuck out the way. Like he didn't know what to do. He just hot garbage. James Wiseman is hot doo doo on a summer June morning, like just hot fresh doo doo, like the doo doo that Craig Daddy fell in, like you know what I'm saying, like hot doo doo, like barbecue mystique, just trash, bro, just trash. Like James Wiseman is trash. Not only is he trash, like Monty Williams is nuts for playing them and not being able to recognize that. Like if you're evaluating, if you're in the evaluation stage, it's obvious that James Wiseman just ain't it. Not only that, like he makes you look bad. He takes the air out of the arena with some of the stuff he do. Like he just terrible. Like I don't even know how many minutes he had. It was too many. It was too many minutes. But just trash. But we had this 6 minute window in the second quarter where he just made us look so bad, and we lost the lead. We was up like 5 or 6 points, and we were screaming when he came in. The first play came in the game, he messed up. Then it was just like 5, 6 plays in a row where he was just fucking up. What's wrong? He wouldn't take $100 bill. How much is it?
30, I think.
30, you think? I think he said 29. My bad, y'all. Pizza man gotta get paid. And they don't want to eat leftovers. Bougie, man. People be bougie than a mug, man. They don't want to eat leftovers from yesterday. We done had lamb chops, lobster mac and cheese, asparagus, half-baked loaded potatoes. Then my OG was tripping. She done did a whole turkey with the stuffing, with the green beans, the whole nine. And we barely even touched the Thanksgiving type stuff. We was eating the lamb chops and asparagus, the lobster mac, all that good stuff. And the turkey's still there. They like, what's for dinner? I'm like, man, they ain't touched that turkey. You better get some turkey sandwiches, put some turkey meat on some Hawaiian rolls, or how y'all know that Thanksgiving meal or something. Y'all better quit playing with me. Anyway, I digress because they still ordered pizza and I still got to pay for it. So it is what it is. But Coach, just watch this unfold. Like, it took the whole air out of the arena, man. I actually tweeted it, man. If you on Twitter, make sure you follow me at It's Real TV. Same thing on Facebook. Same thing on Instagram. I'm mostly on Instagram. On TikTok, I'm Real G's on TikTok. But I'm on TikTok, so either I'm lying or I ain't a real G. Anyway, we up 5. Next thing you know, we down 4. Now Monty want to call timeout. I'm like, come on, Monty. We've been screaming from the stands to call timeout 3 plays ago. I'm talking about come down. Lost in the sauce. NK way. Force K to miss a shot. Come down. Defender dribble right by him. Dump it off to the big man. He just standing there like, what is you good for? Come down. Turn the ball over. Come down. Let a man blow right by him. Come back down. Baby hook. Left hook. We thinking he about to hit it. Like, oh, this is his little signature. Nope. Hot garbage. Hot garbage. Missed the left hook. I'm talking about a foot away from the basket. Just trash bag, hefty bag. Just trash. My bad, y'all. You know when you're watching the game on NBA TV and then it go off and then the press conference pop back up. That was New Orleans. I think they just lost. But anyway, man, just terrible minutes. Like, Wiseman plus minus gotta be like 40, negative 40. He was terrible. He was terrible. I think it had to be like, it was like minus 10 just in that stretch alone. We was up 5 and went from up 5 to down 4 in like 6 consecutive plays. Like less than that for real. It was like 4 or 5. It was just terrible. But yeah, and then we basically goes into the half down like 6 or 8 or something like that. I don't know. Nephew won the Little Caesars, man. He was getting on my nerves. So we go get our Little Caesars. We come back. We chisel the lead back down to like 4-2. And then finally in the fourth quarter, no, towards the end of the third quarter, he does it again. He does it again. We have another, and I hate this. I hate to be the one to shit on James White. I don't want this show to be about shitting on James White. I mean, it's just my observation from this game. I think he really took from us. But anyway, happened again. But so coach to start the fourth, he goes with the starters, and I'm telling my dog, I'm like, man, he going with all starters to start the fourth. Like he must about to ride this out and make them play the whole fourth because, or at least try to make a run and try to get a nice little cushion. And I told my partner that too, like, oh, we about to try to make a run right quick. And we actually did make that run. We went up a nice little bit, then they chiseled it right back down. By the end, we started subbing people out, and the rotations just wasn't right. We kind of went sour. But what also was happening is K started to catch fire. He got going in the third quarter. I think he had put up like 10 points in the third quarter. He went from like 6 points at the half to like 8 points. I think he had 12. I think he finished with like 18 at the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter, he come back fully equipped. He got his guys with him. He got the starters with him. Ivy, Bogey, Stu, Duran back in. And Duran really played well, man. I think he had a double-double like 12 and 13. We missed him. We really, really missed him. I was surprised that he was even playing today. When I came down the steps, I seen Duran. I was like, oh, we might get one. But anyway, yeah, Duran played well. Stu played terrible. He played terrible. But yeah, K got to taking over. I told Dog I was like, I think K about to take over. I was like, we need him. Bro was like, he need to. I was like, yeah, it's time to take over. And that's what K did. He got to taking that thing over. He got to going one-on-one. He got to getting in his bag with the shimmy. He was taking it to the cup. He was getting fouled. He went to the free throw line at least 3 times in the fourth quarter. Like he was actually trying to will his team to a win, and you felt it. Like that was one of the first times I felt like he felt like this is the time and it's time for me to take off. You know, and that goes back to what I was saying about how I think we should run the offense. If we run the offense through Ivy to set up Bogey and the set count and counters off of that, it takes the defense attention off of Cade, and Cade is able to play off the ball and essentially be a spot up shooter or a guy who can catch, take take two off the dribble and pull up or finish or, attack the closeout and kick it and just keep the ball rotating. I saw that a couple times too, and I like what I saw. And then, when he done got a couple going, or when you get to a certain mark time stamp in the quarter, like then you kind of go into the K thing. You know what I'm saying? Because by that time, the rotations are different. You might not have all the starters in the game. You know what I'm saying? And it allows K to take advantage of other teams' deficiencies, which would be players off the bench, which would be matchup changes or people playing in spots that they're not used to playing with or playing with players that they're not used to playing with, opposed to them being with the starters that they play most of the minutes with. You get what I'm saying? There's ample opportunities for Cade to be able to do what Cade do without 5 guys and a coach all barreling down on you, trying to completely shut you out of the offense, because they know that that's our number one option. And if you could take that away, then you're in good shape. So I think that's actually the way we need to play. I think we play better that way. I just think we need to swap Stu out with another shooter and another person that can attack the closeouts. You know what I'm saying? But great game from K. I'm usually really, really rough on K because I don't like the turnovers. I don't like the lackadaisicalness. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the fact that he don't get on his teammates' ass, and he could do it behind the scenes. But my thing is, if a player do something wrong on the court, you correct them right then and there, and you tell them it's out of love, and they should already know it's out of love. If you rock with them like that, and you've been rocking with them like that, they should already know it's out of love. So that shouldn't even be a problem. But I need to see it. We need to see it as fans and as believers. I need to see more out of Cade. Cade taking over at that point in the game when he see his team need it. Like, that's what we need to see more of out of Cade. I love that version of Cade, opposed to the guy trying to force it in the beginning of the game instead of letting the game come to him. You get what I'm saying? Because when they get because in those scenarios, it's all about who can execute better. It's all about coaching to start games because teams come out with a game plan, which means it's all about executing the game plan. Versus late in the game, it's about sheer will. It's about sure dog. Who got the dog in them? Because, and this is why I say it's not about game plan and execution at that point. Because when a player got it going, when a player in his bag, don't nothing else matter for real. You can't tell me otherwise. When the energy is in the room and the player done hit a certain amount of free throws, or he done did a certain crossover, or he done hit a certain shot, or he done took a certain defender, you know what I'm saying? When he feel his chest jump, his heart jumping through his chest, and he in that bag, and this that moment he been waiting on his entire life, and this what he felt like he was made to do. When he get in that mode, game plan don't mean nothing. It don't matter. Show me a game plan that worked to stop Mike in the clutch. It don't exist. You feel me? It don't exist. So I love the fact that K went crazy and tried to will his team to a victory. Unfortunately, we came up short. He had a nice little cross. I think it was on Dorian Finney-Smith, where he went tween to the right. He crossed left, and he yo Iverson yanked him back to the right, finger roll, got the lead down to 2, and we needed to make a stop. Defense. I got that video. I'm gonna post it as a short on my YouTube. But yeah, got it down to 2. It was like 30, 40, like 30 seconds, 38 seconds or something like that, 38, 40 seconds left. And we just couldn't get a stop. They came down. I can't remember who it was. Took the ball to the rack. I think it might have been Bridges. Attacked the rim, kicked it out. Dorian Finney-Smith wide open in the corner, knocked down. That's exactly what I say about guys like that, like a Dorian Finney-Smith. He like 6'7", 6'8", too. He's not as stocky as Stu, and he's a much better on-ball defender, whether perimeter, I should say. So he's able to be in the game, but the main reason why he's able to be in the game, and they don't have to go offense, defense for him after you get a stop or you don't get a stop and you come down on your offensive possession, is because he's capable of knocking that shot down. And whoever's defending him should have knew that too. They should have respected him because he knocked down that shot in the corner consistently. He did it for the Mavs. He's been doing it for Brooklyn. That's just who he is. One of them guys who just got it out the mud and knew that he needed a niche in this league. And now he's able to be a 3-and-D guy. He not crossing nobody over. He don't got no post game. He not creating offense, nothing. He's gonna lock up the one of the team's best offensive players on the wing. He's gonna lock him, sometime guard, and he gonna knock down that 3-point shot. And not only is he gonna knock down it, even if he don't knock it down, it's gonna be respected, which is gonna keep the floor open for a Luka Doncic or for a Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges, Dennis Smith Jr. You get what I'm saying? You get the drift. But yeah, man. So 27 straight. Dorian Finney-Smith iced us. Shout out to K. Shout out to Ivy for setting the tone. K had 40-something. Usually when I see K's numbers, the first thing I always say is like he had good numbers, but it didn't feel that way. He didn't have that impact of the game. He's just talented. You know what I'm saying? But this game, his numbers, and he had 40-something. And it felt like he had 40-something because the second half he went off. I think if my math is right, and I don't know exactly what he finished with, but I think at the end of the end of the second quarter, I think Cade only had 6 points. So Cade probably dropped like 35 plus in the second half. So shout out to Cade. Shout out to Dorian. Welcome back. We appreciate you being back. Shout out to Alec Burke. Finally was back. You hit some big shots. Some you missed. But I liked what I saw out of Alec Burke. Bogey had a decent game. He was scoring. He was doing what Bogey do. I wish the team played like this more often than been playing like this all season. Obviously, Bogey was out. Obviously, Dorian been in and out. And most obvious, we didn't start with Ivy to start the season. But this is actually the lineup that works for us in the time being currently, as this team is presently and currently constructed. Like, this is the lineup that works best for us. Unfortunately, they haven't had a lot of minutes together. On top of that, now it's a different type of ball game because we've been losing and we got this losing streak on our back, which adds extra pressure and adds extra oomph on top of shit, which is going to make it even harder for us to snap the streak. I don't know when the streak comes to the end. If you watching this video, please look forward in the schedule and you tell me when the streak is about to end because I have no clue when the streak is about to end because it's looking rough. We might be able to get Toronto. Most people say we get Toronto, but Toronto popped us by 30 the last time. And I didn't even watch the game. I didn't even get tickets to that game when I picked my tickets because I didn't want to see Toronto. Not only that, the way Toronto build teams, man, that's like kryptonite for us. All them wings and shit, long arm wings, man, hell no. Nah. We ain't got shit for Toronto. So, like I said, last time they dropped a 30 piece on us. So, shit. Ain't no telling, man. I know the weird thing about a lot of these streaks is I know you just look up on TV and then you'll see like we beat like the Celtics or something like at the crib. And I think we actually got them coming up. But my point is like a lot of times with these streaks, they get snapped on when you least expect it against the team that you never expected them to snap it against. So we never know. We're gonna stay optimistic. I don't want us to sell the team. I just want players to hold each other accountable. Um I want players to be playing in their right spots. Stu should be coming off the bench, and I love B Stu. That's my guy. But he just screams bench player. When we drafted him, I said to myself, like, that's a rotational big. Like, that's not a starting power forward or a starting center in this league. Like, they don't even come in that mode. Like, I'm a historian. Like, he's built like Ben Wallace or Reggie Evans or a taller version of PJ Tucker. And again, PJ Tucker, the way, and I was about to say, and the way guys like that stay in in rotations and starting is you got to have elite skill. Ben Wallace, elite skill with shot blocking and defending bigger players and hustle. Like to me, that's a talent. A lot of people think hustle is not a talent. I think that is a talent because talents are things that can be learned and then worked on and honed in on. You can't tell me that if I came out in a game and I was pissed off and I just play like a jackrabbit and then I saw results and I told myself I'm about to play like this from now on. And then as I'm playing like that, now I find different ways to get around defenders. I find different angles to rebound the ball. I find different ways to set screens to get my guys going downhill. I find different ways to defend much bigger post players. I find different ways to box out, whether that's getting lower, doing more squats, so I can get lower to be strong enough to get lower than these guys and move them out the paint so I can get these rebounds and set records and have 20-plus game rebound games like a Kenneth Faried, like a Ben Wallace. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if Reggie Evans ever had one of those, but he not Kenneth Faried or Ben Wallace. That's what I'm more so saying. I'm more so saying if you're going to be more like, you got to be more like Reggie Evans if you can't shoot. Like he's basically Reggie Evans, and a 3-point shot makes him PJ Tucker. You get what I'm saying? That's what makes PJ Tucker PJ Tucker. Is he's learned the talent of playing hard and outworking people, but then what keeps him on the court is his ability to hit the shot. You know what I'm saying? And Stewart is not that guy. And this is not me coming down on Stu, because Stu been working. I've been watching Stu work for a long time. It's more so the history of the NBA and just how shit work. Like the body that you was built with, no homo. I mean, pause. No disrespect to nobody. I don't mean to say that. Pause. The body which you was built with is not conducive to playing a power forward or center in the NBA unless you're going to play of a certain niche, which is be a pit bull, dive on the ground, come out of nowhere, blocking shots. But I'm gonna get off of Stu because I actually love Stu. That's my guy. He's a good person. And he's a hell of a basketball player. He just don't fit with the starting lineup. That's all I'm saying. Um, but yeah, Burke was back. Sasser gave us nothing. Asar pretty much gave us nothing. I heard Asar was sick. So get well, Asar. He wasn't even supposed to play today. And Bagley, we missed you. We missed Bagley the most because Wiseman was just terrible. But this video going on too long, man. I hope y'all watched my last videos. If y'all haven't, go back, check them out. We also just dropped the podcast, the Vulture Podcast. If, as you know, this and all of our content is sponsored by the good people over at Culture Detroit, where fashion, film, art, and music live under one roof. Welcome home, fam. The hottest clothing and sneaker store in the state, specifically in Detroit. Y'all go check them out. But like I said, the Vulture Podcast just dropped. Eastside Egg Roll, Hill Harper, who was running for U.S. Senate, China Frost, female rapper out of Detroit, and 1-800 Premier Producer out of Detroit. All of them are on our first episode. That actually just dropped about 20 minutes ago. So uh, well, it's been like 2 hours, my bad. Like 2 hours ago. So y'all go check that out if y'all into fashion, film, art, music, sports. We like to bring in all of the people who have made it in those areas: fashion, film, art, music, and sports. Like we bring people who've already made it. We put them in a room collectively on a couch, and we just have candid conversation about current events and a little bit of history and the current state of the city and the current state of the culture. Like that's what we do. So y'all go check that out. It's called The Vulture Podcast. It's also on this channel. People like to separate their channels. I ain't doing that, man. They call me Real TV for a reason, man. Because I'm gonna be a TV screen. We're gonna bring out a multitude of content, but it's all gonna be within the realm of fashion, film, art, music, and sports. The culture, because we do it for the culture. So shout out to Culture Detroit, man, for putting that together and dropping the first episode. Go check that out. But this video is going long. If you made it this far, man, jump on the comments and let me know what I need to improve on, what I should be doing. I'm very fairly new to the game, especially doing the podcast by myself. But I've been doing the podcast with the Vulture Podcast, and then I've been jumping on with my guys from DSN Dynasty Sports Network. Shout out to them boys. Shout out King and Deuce, my guys that got the other podcast. Shout them boys out too. I'm trying to get like them, man, and beyond, like all, and that's all of our mindsets. Like we all want to get better at this. So whatever y'all see, any helpful tips y'all can help me for dropping this podcast, let me know, because I could use it. Because I don't want to be just on the camera just talking crazy and putting out anything, man. I want to actually put out the content that you people love and you guys could appreciate, and timeless stuff. And I want to have hot takes and stuff that we can go back in and check me if I'm wrong. So jump in the comments if you made it this far. Let me know what I could do to change. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this video. Hey, it's 27 in a row, but I actually like what I saw today. I think we just need to clean some stuff up, and we need to stay on the court together, and we need to mix up the lineup just a little bit, tweak it just a little bit, and I think it'll be all right. We're not about to sell the team. Shout out to Tom Gores. Shout out to Troy Weaver. Shout out to Monty Williams. Shout out the entire team, the entertainment staff, my boy Aaron, DJ Chachi, Kevy Kev on the host. Shout out to my whole Detroit family. Oh, Brad, my rep. Shout out my guy John, my rep at Valley Sports, man. If y'all haven't seen our commercial on Valley Sports during the games, I don't know where you been at, man. Come on, man. It's the squad. It's the game. I appreciate all y'all, man. We gonna stay loyal. We gonna stay down. And this team is gonna turn around, man. We just gotta tweak it, man. I got faith in my boys, man. So to all my Detroit players out there, I appreciate y'all, man. Salute, man.